I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000. But the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I got to have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. It is Thursday. Wow. It is absolutely Thursday. Shout out to Versace for sending me that new email for that new thing that they want me to pick up. What's going on, friends? Y'all want to tap in and make sure that we get the good times rolling? Because I have no clue on what I'm going to say on a daily basis. Let me fix this. I feel like there's some things wrong here. Let's get that Zoom life in. I have no clue on what I'm going to say on a daily basis. I'm going to be honest with you. Let's see what we got here. I don't know if I'm going to turn up, turn down, educate, chastise, or what. Oh, this is kind of dope. Took a picture of them, but I didn't really detail them and look at them in detail. These is dope. Y'all like these? I know I said I was becoming a minimalist, but I don't know what I'm going to do on a day-to-day basis. I'm just like the wind. God, take me where you want me to go. Make sure that I'm taken care of. Word my mouth, guide my footsteps. That's all I say. I say, God, word my mouth, guide my footsteps. How you want me to play this out? Anyways, what's going on, friends? Shout out to Kingdom Minded 1121. Says, I joined the Patreon first thing this morning. Make sure y'all give a shout out to all of the new bag chasers. Shout out to Tej Henley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. New month, new opportunities. Let me tell you something, ladies. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way early. Shout out to Kingdom Minded for the bag chasing. Let me tell y'all something. Early. All right? Before we get started with the show, the first day of the month is the best time to join the bag chasers, in which obviously, you know, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me tell you something about people. All right. I'm going to get the housekeeping out of the way early. I'm going to give you some game about people. We're going to dive into this Bank of America. I heard it's a woman over in Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you know anything about Grand Rapids, it is a city that is a few hours or a couple hours away from Detroit. A woman is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, making $158,000 a year. So somebody sent me that video. Multiple people tapped in with me yesterday, and they said, Anton, you got to look at this Bank of America thing and break it down. I said, okay, I'm going to check it out. So I got the article up, and my thing is I don't like to look at things prior to. All right? I don't like to look at things prior to. I don't really like to look at articles and their details. I look at the title. I look at a little bit of I try to do a snapshot and then I keep it moving. If you send me a video, I look at the title. I get a little bit of idea and then I keep it moving because I like to give real-time feedback, insight, and information or reactions off of what it is that I see. So that's the cadence of the show today. All right. Secondly, I need you guys to hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on your notifications, all right? Third, we all know that bag chasers is bag chasing. I am posting in the Patreon today, and I am doing a Patreon exclusive within the next 2 days because next week, I'm trying to figure out my schedule on my calendar because I will be live streaming next week, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be live streaming on one of the days next week because I'm supposed to be flying out to LA and do a taping. And then I got people flying in and do interviews because I'm doing more interviews and I'm releasing more exclusive footage to the bag chasers. Now, let me tell you why I do what I do as far as separating content and making sure that the bag chasers get everything first, because I have never been more flooded with emails and DMs from people that's saying, Anton, just release it to everybody. Anton, make sure you drop everything for everybody. Anton, can you drop all of the exclusive content or make sure that the Discord is available and people have access to it and all of that in the general public? And I'm going to tell you why I don't do that, why I won't do that, and it'll never happen. Several different reasons. A, I like to separate the haves from the have-nots. Yes. I don't believe in a middle class. I think the idea of a middle is egregious. Maybe it's from my upbringing. Maybe it's from the idea that I've always studied the word, and the word said either be hot or cold, but don't be lukewarm. I spit you out of my mouth. Be hot or cold, be broke or rich. Be successful or unsuccessful. But either way, I need to know what I'm dealing with. I don't want people on the fence. Listen. I'm not interested in having fair weather people that casually browse and see what's going on. Either you fucking with me or you ain't. Either you with me or you against me. You're going to tune in either way. As a matter of fact, I think that the people that tune in the most are the ones that actually are looking to see you lose, which is fine either way, right? It was one of the reasons I even resonated a little bit with Trump when he first announced it, because I thought that when he first came into, when he first announced that he was running for president way back in, I believe it was like 2015 or 16 or something like that, I was like, oh, he just marketed himself. And then I think that something hit. And then all of a sudden he started resonating with people. But one of the things that resonated with people was the fact that he was absolutely transparent in what his real thoughts were about different issues, whether you liked them or not. He said, listen, black people. Biden said, listen, you ain't black if you ain't voting for me. Like he was black. And then Trump said, listen, fam, y'all been doing it your way this entire time. You might as well come over in my way. Y'all neighborhoods is fucked up. Facts. Schools is tore the fuck up. Facts. Families is broken. Facts. Tied to the government. Absolutely. And then people was like, I hate him for that. And then eventually a lot of these same people that said they hated him, they'll never admit it now. They'll never admit it now, but they was like, I hate you. Yeah, get the pitchforks. Trump bad, man. Orange man bad. Grabbing chicks by the pussy. And then eventually they was like, wait a minute. We are getting bamboozled. And it's a similar situation with me. A lot of people, and I don't know how many people, countless people come to me and they say, Anton, I hated you. I hated the way you talked. I hated your Versace robe. I hated your Rolex. I hated what they perceived as arrogance and all of this other type of stuff. And then eventually The thing that you get with me is that once you see me, you can't unsee me. Once you hear me, you can't unhear me, because subconsciously you're going to have to compare the things that I'm telling you against the things that you then go back to, and it's not going to look the same no more. You're going to see a completely different narrative because you can't unhear and unsee the things that I'm telling you. And so what happens a lot of times is that people say, yo, I hate your fucking guts. And then they go home and they be like, damn, this shit is fucked up over here. It was a little better over there. I don't mind his Versace robe. Maybe it's inspiring me a little bit. I need me one too. Cool. They didn't stop making them when they made mine. Go ahead and get you one. And see, what you realize over here in the bag chasers is that we not haters. Nope. Shout out to Persevere Data TV. We not haters over here. We not. We want you to win. We understand that you winning and you being better than me, if I can somehow propel you to be better than me, meaning that you actually have more talent than me, you're better than me in all of the physical, whatever it is that you have, you're better than me. But if I can get you to truly see that and take what I got that I had to learn, and you can get it much earlier and become much more successful, you actually make me look good because you're a reflection of me now. And now you're part of my network, and then both of us together become more successful together. But if you can step outside of your haterism and jealousy or envy, or, you don't want to get that pricked heart, and so you feel some type of way when somebody is talking to you, the reality is that they actually want you to be the best version of yourself. But you're so busy in your feelings, and you're so busy feeling about things instead of taking it for what it really is. If somebody tell you, yo, your car is smoking, don't get mad at the person that pointed out your car smoking. Get mad at yourself for the fact that you driving a car that's smoking. It's not my fault. I just point out the reality of it. And so we want to cover everything up with dirt, thinking that something is going to come out of it, when in reality, nothing is going to come out of it. And so I separate the people, right? I separate the haves from the have-nots, the bag chasers from the unbag chasing. And then I make sure that they get all of the goodies, all of the phenomenal things, all of the interviews, all of the entertainment, all of the insight and information. And I got a Patreon exclusive video dropping within the next 2 days, and it is awesome. It is absolutely jam-packed with information. It is going to hopefully change your life, and it's going to change the way you think about money, success, business, how you structure your businesses, how you structure your life, how you look at corporate America. It's hopefully going to do some damage to that damage that you already have, so that we can remove that trash and then put in some stuff that actually really matter. That's the goal. But I will not ever release it to the general public, because they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. And at $15, I gave it to them for $9 at first, and then they fumbled that. Wanted to wait, said Anton gonna reduce it back. No, it's never coming back. And when I did the seat at the table, I said, listen, seat at the table is here. I'm not adding no additional spots. It is what it is. Sold out in less than a day, and then everybody was acting all upset. Oh, Anton, please, I need it. Success is when opportunity meets preparation. Success is when opportunity meets preparation. Who knows how long I'm even going to be giving this level of information visibly for free on the internet in a general sense, because we're going in a completely different direction. And if you don't see the vision, if you don't see the direction that I'm going in right now, if you don't see the transition, if you don't see the growth, if you don't see the thing that you're starting to experience with me, and the transition that I've been holding back from, simply because I didn't want to overwhelm and I had to have everything in perfect timing, but I've always been having this fire. I want to kill this shit. Holding myself back right now. You're going to miss out. You're going to miss the wave. And it's not for everybody. That's what you don't understand. Some people are... Can I use a very, very graphic analogy for you? I'm going to use some graphic analogies for you, and then hopefully you catch it. Some people, some women, for example, are not meant to be wives. Some of them is meant to be hoes. That's their purpose. They serve their purpose, and that's it. If you read the Bible, right, you'll realize that some people in that text had no choice. You believe in choice, but in reality, they had no choice. Pharaoh was not meant to let the children of Israel. That's not what it was. Judas was meant to betray Jesus. That was his purpose. It's some people that's meant to be the dusty dusties so we can use them as an example of what not to do. The problem with the people in the middle is that they don't know what they want. And so they're highly impressionable about the things that's worse for us, which is why black culture is trash, the things that we celebrate the most. And then the other people actually make a decision. And then you look at them and you say why they got it and why they winning and why they this and why they that. And they not thinking about you. The only thing that they doing is running that checkup, being successful in their relationships, being successful in their marriages, winning with their kids, changing the narrative, living a good life. Yes, yes, yes. One of the things on our objective, and this will be announced also on the Patreon very, very soon. And again, I have a crazy interview that's coming for y'all. Y'all not going to be ready for this one. We was securing that all last night. All while I was doing the Q&A show. Shout out to everybody that was there on the Q&A show. We was secure. Rita was on the side securing some crazy stuff that we got going on. One of the things that we're also working on, in addition to the live meetup that we have coming in a couple weeks, one of the things that I'm also going to announce is the retreat that we got going on. I told y'all earlier last year that we was going to work on a retreat. I wanted to give y'all enough lead time for you to be able to tap in and be a part of it. I want you to send your kids to bed. Make sure you get a babysitter. Make sure you get your flights in enough time. See, we're going to do this like white people do it this time. We're going to do it like white people do it. You know what white people do? They don't get last minute flights. They plan way ahead of time. They make sure that they don't have to finance and get a firm on their flights and their tickets and all of this other type of stuff. Because they plan and they ensure that they do things in order. We're going to do it in order. And so we're going to have the Patreon retreat with the bag chasers. And we're going to have a hoot and hollering of a good time. I'm going to have some of my most famous friends there. We're going to have business talk. We're going to have relationship talk. We're going to party. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have good weather. We're going to have sand in our feet, the wind in the air, and we're going to have a fucking good time. And I'm going to separate it. It's not going to be for everybody. It's only going to be for the bag chasers because that's my family. And if you can't make a decision at the beginning of the month, as far as who you designate as family, who you want to be going in the direction that you're going in with, who you want to align with, who's going to pour into you, and who's going to ensure that you're successful and give you everything that they got without holding anything back. If you can't make a decision based off of that, then you can't make a decision to be a part of the bag chasers in the first place. All right? So I just wanted to make sure that we understand that. I want you to understand that we're special. Special. Set aside. You know what's being sanctified mean? They don't even help you. You don't even know nothing about the church. All you hear is these church women, saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. It means set aside, being put together without spot or blemish, ensuring that you are successful, the best version of you. That's what it really means. It don't mean being a holy roller. It means to be defined by your greatness. That's the true meaning of it. Set aside. Not being contaminated by bad apples, which is one of the things that we want to make sure. We want to make sure we remove the bad apples to ensure that we have a peaceful, harmonious environment. Anybody will tell you that's ever been to the Patreon meetup, they will tell you, listen, it was a vibe. It was great. It was awesome. Everybody had good energy, beautiful people, no fighting, no complaining, no cussing, no ratchetness. Women beautiful, men great. It's the real Wakanda over here, baby. Told you, the church ain't no building. It's here. It's with us. Shout out to all of my bag chasers. I think it's time for us to go ahead and get into the show. Let me read some of these super chats before we get started. Spacer says, sign my moms up for the Patreon. Listen, you know something is good when the people say, I got to sign my parents up for this one. You know it. Shout out to my dog Spaces. Shout out to moms. Mama Spaces. Mr. Grove says, get this ninja back down to the mailroom. My dad on that one yesterday. I said, who are you talking to, homie? Who you talking to? Shout out to Mr. Groves. My dog, Brandon. Thanks for the advice during our coaching calls. Next time you in Miami, you're going to have to come and see the project. Brandon is working on a big project. I've been coaching Brandon for an extended period of time. Brandon is so fucking rich right now. Brandon has ran up the bag so hard. And you know what the funny thing is about that, Brandon? I actually got a Patreon exclusive with him inside of the Patreon as far as what he did for a living to then get that shovel so that he can then be doing these big projects that he got going on. Brandon gonna call me. Brandon, can I brag on you a little bit? Can I say a number? Brandon said, Anton, I got this project. This is how he talk. This is how Brandon talk. He said, Anton, I got this project and what do you think about this? When I first met Brandon, shout out to my bag chase. Brandon is a seat at the table member. When I first started kicking it with Brandon, Brandon was out here trying to be a city boy. He was getting a little bit of money. He was getting a little bit of money. He wasn't getting a lot of money. He was getting a little bit of money. He said, Anton, oh yeah. I said, Brandon, hear me out, bro. He said, I don't know, Anton, that's a lot. I said, hear me out, my family. Trust me on this. That was like a year ago? Now Brandon is like, let me tell you what Brandon is going to tell me. This is what Brandon going to tell me the other day. He called me. He said, Anton, I got this deal that I want to talk about. This is the transition. A lot of y'all don't even realize how much y'all have changed since y'all been rocking with me until I pointed out. I told him to. I said, man, you are completely different than when I first met you. You was slightly dusty, but you had the dust. You got the broom and the mop, and you got it up off of you. Brandon going to call me the other day. He going to say, so Anton, I got this deal on the table. I said, Brandon, what's the deal? He said, so listen. I'm not going to tell him the details, B. He said, so listen. He said, we got these couple projects, and we're going to build on this. And so, I'm going to go ahead. I said, how much you got to put contribute into this deal, right away? Yeah, I'm thinking about probably something like 90,000. Yeah, ain't going to do nothing to me. I ain't worried about it. I'm looking to get rid of the money. Anton, you told me I got to be able to get rid of the money so we can lower our tax because my taxes is out of control right now. I said, I love this shit. I love it when my people is winning like a motherfucker. Yeah, it may cost me an extra $100,000, but I don't know. I mean, I think I need to. What do you think about this deal? I said, this sounds like a good deal. Oh, shout out to my dog B. I don't know. What you think about this? Listen, when you start getting money, we start talking like mob bosses. Should I not? He talking about 100,000 for like most people. Brandon throwing around 100,000 on different deals like it don't even mean nothing to him. He was completely different a little while ago. Shout out to B, man. I love my guys. I love my people. Y'all are so awesome. Shout out to Brandon doing big deals. He gonna say, next time you in Miami, come by the project. I want to show you what's going on. My dog, Persevere Data TV, says the game and every coaching call is unparalleled, worth every dollar and then some. Hey, Persevere Data, we was talking on the phone this morning. Persevere had his pen. He was like, fuck, I didn't even expect you to say all of this today. I don't hold nothing back from my people. I give them everything that I know. And as I learn it and as I grow, I'm going to make sure that they go with me. All right. Keep winning, bro. They say keep winning, B. So we're going to get into this Bank of America. Shensi says, I'm going to wait for the Thought Chasers retreat. You ain't going to get it with us because we winning. New Era Man says, tip my waitress 50% today. She was deeply appreciative. I felt powerful. Thanks for the game. When you treat people good things come back to you when they treat you better. You're going to get way more value out of that person. See, that's the thing. I ain't even going to get into tipping today. Shout out to New Era, man. Get y'all money. Keep winning. I love it. So again, link to the Patreon is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I am going to drop the link in the show today for y'all to be able to cam up and have a conversation with me. But more importantly, honestly, the first of the month is the best day to join for those of y'all that's not a part of the Bag Chasers. And then make sure you join the Discord. You can click any video or any post, any of the more recent posts. It has a link to the Discord for y'all to be able to jump in there and have a good conversation. All right. So let's continue. Let's get into it. How y'all doing, family? Y'all feeling good? I'm feeling good today. Have y'all noticed I'm starting to express a little bit more about my thoughts on relationships? We gonna start diving into that a lot more. All right. So Bank of America, y'all sent me and y'all peppered me with so many different posts. I don't think that any of y'all sent me any more articles than y'all ever have than yesterday. When Bank of America said, listen, we loves us some black people. We loves us some black people and Hispanics. And Hispanics. And they said, listen, we're going to give you guys the best deal ever. Something that you can't refuse. They hit you with the Bob Boss talk. They say, listen, we're going to do 0 down payments, 0 closing costs for everybody that was running in the Victim Olympics. Look, I even made sure I got the black and white Bank America logo instead of the red and blue. Because I know y'all think America is racist. The system is set up against y'all. You got every freaking advantage out there. They said, we going to give you 0 down payments, 0 down payments, 0 closing costs. I don't think that I've ever heard of that in my entire life. I didn't even know a deal like that was ever possible. I did not know a deal like that was ever possible. I have not read the article. We are about to go over it together. I want you guys to be informed. I am not a financial advisor. I am going to give you my genuine thoughts based off of what I see and what I read. Okay? I'm going to give you my genuine, honest to God thoughts based off of what I see and what I read. And again, I'm going to let you guys cam up. I'm going to let you ask any question that you want to ask. And we're going to have a good old hooting time. And I'm going to get y'all started so that y'all ain't running in the Victim Olympics on this Friday Eve. No fumbling on a Friday, but I know some of y'all got paid on a Thursday, all right? So let's get into this, all right? So B of A. Let me blow this up a little bit. Make sure we can get all of the words. B of A is in the building. So, Bank of America, and I know a lot about banks, so this is right up my alley. Bank of America said we're going to give all black people and Hispanics 0 down payment mortgages, and they specifically named these cities, all right? Residents in Charlotte. This is not for everybody. This ain't for all of y'all. This is for some of y'all. Residents in Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami neighborhoods will be the first to be offered the program. The only time that I've ever heard anything remotely like this is with the military. Now, if you're a military member, a lot of people don't realize that because I've coached a lot of military members. I know a lot of y'all got TSPs. Yeah, you ain't know I knew all about you. A lot of y'all got TSPs. A lot of y'all have not been taking advantage of the education that and the tuition that the military is offering you. And a lot of you are also not familiar with the home buying program that allows for you to be able to not only operate a certain type of way and taking advantage of home ownership, but also leveraging that to get more into business and depending on where you're at and depending on your circumstances and depending on how it is that you finesse this, you can also forego property taxes for some of these people. Get with your military members. I have a lot of people that are participating in this in the Patreon and in the Discord, and we're going to mine out and have these conversations. But there's a lot of benefits that come along with aligning yourself with people that have been in the military. Y'all should be doing business together. When I do these meetups and I come to y'all and I kick it with y'all, I say and I tell y'all, I'm not here just so you can see me. I'm here so I can bring all of you together so that we can have a conversation. And then you can become a part of each other's network and leverage each other's tools and resources because we're all Swiss Army knives in order to make sure that we're more powerful together. We're a group. We're a family. We're close-knit. All right? Bank of America, see, a lot of y'all didn't even know that. Bank of America said it is offering first time. You cannot have been a home buyer already. First time home buyers and a select group of cities, zero down payment. Now, anytime I hear zero down payment, the first thing that I do is I get a little bit skeptical. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the first thing I think of is high interest rates. This is just instinctively. Instinctively, the first thing I think of is egregious interest rates. If anybody ever tells you you don't have to put no money down on something, first thing you need to do is get skeptical and start paying attention to the fine print to know that you're probably giving more long term than you are getting out of it. Because they're not incentivized to give you anything. They're not incentivized to give you anything. And honestly, I have not seen this program. I have not looked at it. I'm giving you my genuine breakdown. When you think of zero down, you usually think of cars, commercials. Zero down on a new Kia Hyundai and you can pay $2 million a month over the next 200 years. Zero down monthly payments. Just don't worry about the interest rate. We only go to the payment. That's the first thing I think of. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Zero closing cost mortgages to help grow home ownership among Black, Hispanic, and Latino communities. Now, I want to know who the pilot of this program is because that's the sales pitch. Okay? Think about what we're talking about right here, ladies and gentlemen. That is the sales pitch, and you didn't even know you were being sold. One of the things that I tell you all the time is, why the fuck are you signing up for 30-year mortgages? And then y'all say, because home ownership is better than renting. And then I automatically know you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, right? Because it's not that renting is better than home ownership, but it's because you don't really understand why they're marketing to you 30-year mortgages. And you don't even realize that they already sold you on a pitch because that's been normalized in your communities and in society. And if you look at what it is that you're paying, if you don't pay that over the next 15 years, by the time you sell, when you take into consideration the closing costs and you take into consideration the fees that are generated from the person that sold your home and all of this other type of stuff, and then the maintenance and then the utilities and then the property taxes and then the repairs, if you truly understand the cost of home ownership and you factor that into your total number, you got to live in that home at least 10 to 15 years to even think about breaking even or coming close to what it costs, or to take into consideration what the true cost of home ownership is, and then to get the benefits and extract it out of it. It's the truth. But they've marketed to you and they pitched you and they've sold you. And so the first thing you think of is, oh man, they want to help us get home ownership. But you're not looking at the pitch. They're acting like they're helping you, but they're helping them. They're acting like they're helping you, but they're helping them. All right. I don't even know. I don't know what the pitch is. I don't know what it is, but we're going to dive into it. The option will first become available in certain neighborhoods in Charlotte, Detroit, LA, and Miami. The new mortgage, called the Community Affordable Loan Solution. It's for the community. This is all for the community. The Community Affordable Loan Solution aims to help eligible individuals and families obtain an affordable loan to purchase a home, the bank said. An affordable loan. So let's put these together. If you need a loan, not utilize one, but if you need a loan, you couldn't afford it in the first place. Let me tell you one more time. Just because you can afford the payments does not mean you can afford to take out the loan. If you need a loan, you couldn't afford it in the first place. Now, where are we going with this, right? If you pay attention to what happened back in 2008, this is very much a formula that put things in place that made people that couldn't even afford the mortgages that they qualified for or the loans that they took out. And it created the crisis that we found ourselves in. And then we had to pick up the pieces, and then all of the rich people got richer because they had the resources to be able to buy your stuff up at cheap. What does home ownership mean? What does home ownership mean? Because A, you'll never truly own your home. Even if you paid off the mortgage, you don't own the home because you got to pay the property taxes. And if you miss it too many times, they come in and take your stuff and they auctioning it off. You're never going to truly own the home. Anything can be an asset, but is it an appreciating asset? And even if it's an appreciating asset, do you truly extract the value out of it? And this is one of the reasons why we have the Patreon, is because we do real life breakdowns as to how you can go about capitalizing, not just jump into a category of home ownership. What does home ownership mean to you? Ask yourself that. Let's continue. Aims to help eligible individuals and families obtain an affordable loan, meaning that they want you to focus on the payment instead of the interest rate. That's what the translation looked like to me. They want you to focus on the payment instead of the interest rate. Anybody that could have got it already did it. But now they're offering you 0 to get into it, which means that the cost is going to be more. Why do we tell people to put 20% down? Why am I so adamant that you put 20% down when you buy a house? Not the 3.5% that they want to give you, the 20% down. Because if you don't put 20% down, the first thing that we have to take into consideration is that you got to pay private mortgage insurance, which is another tax on the fact that you don't have enough money to do what you want to do. PMI is just continuously benefiting off of your back. Not only are you paying the interest, not only is the majority of the payments going towards the interest and not towards the principal, you also got to pay PMI until you get enough equity in the mortgage, in the home itself, for you to be able to remove it. It's just another tax. Home ownership, this is the pitch. Home ownership strengthens our communities and can help individuals and families build wealth over time. Are you going for it? AJ Barkley, head of neighborhood and community lending for Bank of America, said in a release, our community affordable, now I got to do some research. Give me a second. I got to find out. What's his name? AJ Barkley, head of neighborhood community lending for Bank of America. All right. Let's look at AJ. Let's find out who AJ Barkley is. Ain't the power of the internet beautiful? AJ Barkley, Bank of America. Vice chair of Bank of America. Yes. Yes, this is AJ. You thought it was a man, didn't you? Nope. This is AJ Barkley. The internet is a powerful thing, ain't it? AJ Barkley is a woman. AJ Barkley is the head of neighborhood and community lending. Not community banking, community lending. All right. Neighborhood lending executive, production executive. That's it. That's all we can see about her. But we got a good idea of who she is now. All right. So now that we have some idea of who it is, yep. Home ownership strengthens our communities. Now you know who's saying it. And so you can envision what's coming out of their mouth when they're saying it. And builds wealth over time. Our community affordable loan solution will help make the dream of sustained home ownership attainable for more Black and Hispanic families. And it is part of a broader commitment to the communities that we serve. The loans require no mortgage insurance. The additional fee typically charged to buyers who put down less than 20%. So they're saying no PMI, all right, of the purchase price. And no minimum credit score. What the fuck? Who in their right mind is going to give anybody anything that don't even show that they. So you telling me anybody can qualify? This is what we used to call in 2008 a ninja loan. Did y'all know that? I did not know this was coming. This is called a ninja loan. You don't even have to have a fucking credit score. You don't have to be able to show none of that. You know what a ninja loan stands for? No income, no job. No income, no job. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving my opinion. The loans require no mortgage insurance and no minimum credit score. Let me tell you something. My grandmother used to tell me, Anton, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Listen, if you see a woman walking down the street and she got a short skirt on and she say, come here, big daddy. It's a police officer waiting around the block after she offer you to give you some Gawk 3000 for $20. And then you're going to be on the sex offenders list right after that. If there's a woman walking down the street and her skirt is really high, and she said, come here, big daddy, and you looking like a piece of shit, and then you turn around and you say, who, me? And she said, yeah, you got $20 on you? Look for the peace owner. Look for the peace owner. It's too good to be true, family. I'm trying to tell you that this is a setup. This is a setup. It's a police officer in a paddy wagon waiting to pick you up. You're not getting no gawk today, buddy. Except for if you're going to be doing it in jail after you register for the sex offenders list. It's a setup, bro. Grandma told me it's too good to be true. You ain't have to work for that pussy. It's something wrong with it. I want the same thing that all of the white people are getting. I want the same thing that the white people getting. When they start giving out them PPP loans and y'all was all gung-ho. I know some of y'all, I seen y'all personally. I seen a barber. He ain't even own the shop. This dude said he had 3 different businesses and a bunch of employees. Ain't nan employee. Now he over there like this. Biting his fingernails every day because he know the statute of limitations is 10 years for them to find him. Too good to be true. And them clothes that he bought, he don't even wear them no more because they washed up now. Balenciagas ain't what they used to be. Anything you got to worry about. I want the same loans as the white people. If they not giving the Asians nothing, if they not giving the Indians and the white people, if they not including, I don't want it because I know it's a setup. I don't want it because I know it's a setup. Listen to this shit. No PMI, which is usually to protect the lender, private mortgage insurance. And I just explained that to y'all before I even got down to this part because I hadn't read this article. No minimum credit score. You can have a fucking 300, like the car, the Chrysler 300. You know, the one that used to look, they tried to make it look like the Bentley. You can have a 300 credit score. And instead, eligibility will be based on factors like timely rent payments and on-time utility bills, phone and auto insurance payments. This is stupid. This is so dumb. Prospective buyers must also complete a home buyer certification course. I know people that sell courses online all day. Provided by Bank of America and federally approved housing council partners before they apply for the loan program. So you tell them, and let me tell you something about niggas. All right? Let me tell you something about niggas. They don't care nothing about your. So you telling me a person that can't even read is supposed to qualify for a loan that don't even require a credit score? The only place that I know that don't require a credit score is a payday loan place. The only place you ain't got to qualify. All you got to do is, all you need, this sounds just like one of them car commercials. All you need is a job, no down payment, and then bring 2 utility bills, and we gonna get you in the car today. Fucking A. Y'all really going for this? Are y'all really going for this? Anything that you don't have to work for is a setup. The racial gap, and then they're going to give you the pitch. The racial gap in home ownership rates in the U.S. remains substantial in 2020. Most recent year for the National Association of Realtors data available. Let me tell you what's really happened. It's an opportunity for them to make way more money. Do you know that finance companies make way more money, not from the people that got good credit, but from the people that got bad credit? Credit card companies, auto loan companies, student loan companies, all of the companies give the most egregious rates to the people that they don't have any qualifications for. The problem is that when you get so subprime meaning prime, best available, subprime, less than. The problem is that when you start to qualify people who have not qualified themselves, not only do you make a lot of money from them, but you create a crisis that we then started to see in 2008. This is the same shit. They just refined it. So now the government started to put protections in place from 2008 to try to make sure that it never happened again. They said, hey, you're going to have to qualify. You're going to have some things on your credit. You're going to have to be able to substantiate your job. You're going to have to work there for this amount of time. You might have to submit your 1040. You're going to have to show some shit because we ain't just giving you all of this stuff because the bankers got greedy and it was making crazy amounts of money based off of the fees and the loans and all of these triple Bs and triple A rated. And then they got the credit agencies in on it and all of this other type of stuff. And they created an environment that completely destroyed everything. And you know what it really did? It didn't just destroy everything. The rich people even got richer. The people that manufactured the crisis then bought everything fuck up. And then they ran the prices back up. And now the prices for homes is actually more than they were in 2008 when everything got depressed. So while you was jumping off the fucking bridge and a lot of people jumped off the San Francisco bridge because they thought that their life was over, when them motherfuckers was jumping off the bridge, somebody was behind the bank doing like this. Yeah. When you was jumping off the bridge because you was trying to off yourself because you couldn't afford your mortgage no more, because they suckered you the first time and now you falling right back into the same situation. Somebody else was licking their chops like, yeah, not only did we already make money off of them, but we about to make more money. You know why they want y'all to have more kids? Y'all don't want me. They don't want me to tell you this. Listen, I am intricately aware of what happens in banks because I've studied them because that was a part of my job. As a UX UI person, I needed to study every aspect of the bank. I wanted to understand how mortgage loans worked. I wanted to understand how they pitch them to people. I wanted to understand the marketing department. I've spent an extensive amount of time with even the servicers. The servicing side of the bank makes more money than the mortgage side. You know why? Because they then get to charge egregious fees to the other people that need to service their mortgage through you, especially when you're going through forbearance. Do you know that the mortgage, look at me, I'm about to break it down for you. See, ain't nobody in the industry, there is nobody on YouTube that can help you to understand this like I can. Let me break it down for you. Do you know that mortgage servicing is the biggest money maker inside of the bank? Well, Anton, how does it work? I shouldn't even be breaking this down to y'all because I don't even know if you motherfuckers is a part of the Patreon. But shout out to the bag chasers. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Servicing of the mortgage is this, okay? Your credit union, and they gonna try to trick you and try to act like, oh no, credit unions are better. They're not. Credit unions are there to try to get you for the mortgage. The person that actually services the mortgage, processes the payments, have you going online, doing all of this other type of stuff, they charge the credit unions and all of these different institutions fees based off of how many loans that they have. Now, the other side of the equation is this. If the loan is in bad standing, let's just say the pandemic happened. Banks got a killing off the pandemic. Whenever loans are in bad standing or they're in financial forbearance or all of this other type of stuff, the servicers, the servicing side of the bank gets to charge the person that holds the mortgage more money. But we don't have to take any of the risk because it's not our mortgage. So you're paying me to service your customers, which we then get a percentage of the fee that they pay to the servicer of the mortgage in order to make sure that they say, hey, I'm a homeowner. I got my keys, big red door. Everybody making money except for you. Everybody making money except for you. So now when you get to go into default or you ask for a forbearance, guess who get bigger bonuses? Why you think my bonuses are so big? Because I'm trying to figure out how to make more money for the banks. Who you think gonna pay for it? Why you think my bonuses are so big? When I show y'all my W-2 inside of the Patreon and the video is still up, why you think I make so much fucking money? You think they pay me just because I'm smarter than everybody else? No, because I understand people. And I understand that people given the choice are not going to make the best decision for themselves. Because the only thing that you see is the marketing. And you see, oh, wow, they trying to do something for black people. Home ownership. Look at the article. Watch this. For white households, nothing better to get you to do some dumb shit than to compare yourself to white people. For white households, the ownership rate is 72.1%. That compares with only 51.1% for Hispanic households and 43.4% for black households. The black ownership rate was lower in 2020 than it was in 2010. And then you jump on the bandwagon. We can get us a ninja loan. No mortgage, no job, no income. Pay 99% interest rates on my stuff. And then we be like this. Yeah, let's bust down this bag from the middle class because they going to continue to pay these fees, baby. We're going to pay these fees, baby. I'm trying to tell you. Listen. The servicing. Let me tell you what servicing is, all right? This is an educational show just as much as it is entertaining, but I want you to get something out of this. Let me tell you what servicing is. Do you know why Apple is spending more time pushing to you Apple Care, Apple Fitness, Apple Music? They only advertise the iPhones when the iPhones is dropping. They're not dropping you ads for iPhones. I'm trying to help you to understand marketing and money at the same time. The servicing is where the money maker is. Apple is getting, why do you think they got into the credit card business? Why do you think that your next iPhone, you can be able to finance it and you can do Afterpay on your next iPhone? What you think is happening? You think that they just doing this because it's fun? Listen, they not even trying to push iPhones no more. iPhones is just the vehicle to get you to finance because they making more money on the other side of the equation. Do y'all know how bank servicing fees work? Do you know how credit card processing fees work? Do you? Do you know that DoorDash don't give a flying fuck about your restaurant and your food? DoorDash is in the transaction business. They're in the commerce. They're in the moving money to money. You never even thought to invest in MasterCard. You don't give a fuck about Visa. You think that it's about, God, my people. It's a lack of knowledge, God. And then when they get the knowledge, they don't even know how to implement it because they're not aligned with people like me. They so busy hating me instead of taking the information so that they can then level up. The servicing side is the side that makes the money. Listen, when the pandemic hit, the only people that's going to suffer is the realtors and you and the people that hit for inflation. When ain't no builders selling, the boom bust industry of Pulte homes, when everybody's buying, they building a lot of stuff. When everybody's shut down, nobody is buying anything. We don't give a fuck about Pulte homes. We're not investing in Pulte homes. You know what we like? We like MasterCard. We like Visa. We like all of them. You know who else we like? We like the servicers. The reason God, it's too much information. It's too much information. Let me just break it down to you like this. When y'all making investments, and I challenged y'all. When y'all making investments, and I challenged y'all, and I said, listen, and I'm gonna read the super chats. I appreciate all of the super chats. And I said, listen, when you buy a pair of sneakers, when you go and get your new J's, these just came out. When you go get your new J's, I want you also to buy a share of Nike. It wasn't just so you can start having ownership in the stock of the company. It was to incentivize you so that you can start doing research on how money works. I'm Mr. Miyagi-ing you. Because then you have to start paying attention to and the questions that I started getting, and it was beautiful. I was so excited. I was so happy for y'all when y'all started asking me these questions. And y'all said, well, Anton, let me show myself. Y'all said, Anton, I don't even like that company. And so the first question that I asked you is, well, if you don't like the company, why don't you like the company and why are you buying products from it? And you said, well, this company, I'm not sure if they publicly own. And I don't even really know who owns this company. But what you were really starting to do without even noticing it is you were starting to do the research because you was in a discovery phase. And the discovery phase of understanding your investments is the same way if somebody was to come to you and they would say, hey, I want you to invest in my car wash. You wouldn't just give them $100,000. You would say, well, where is it going to be located? And who's going to manage it? And do we got enough employees? And is it in the hood? Are we working about getting break-ins? And how much are we going to charge? And what's the return on my investment? A, B, C, D, and you got a whole millions of questions. But then you motherfuckers will come to me and say, yeah, day trading is the word. Forex, options. No, when you're investing in a company and you're buying a stock, you're making an informed decision to make to put your money into something that you should be doing the same amount of research. If somebody was to come to you and ask you for $100,000 to invest in a car wash, you need to know the management. You need to know how they make money. You don't even know you don't even know how Apple makes money. You think because they sold you a Mac or they sold you an iPhone, and you don't even understand why they transitioned from IBM chips in order to their own silicon, M1 chips, M2 chips, Mac Pro chips. You don't know none of that. You didn't understand that banks most of you don't even understand how banks make money. You don't understand why deposits are necessary. Why, when everything happened during the pandemic and everybody put their money out from stocks, and I threw all of my money into the things that I had already invested in, and then I did a 78% return on my portfolio, which was unheard of, and everybody put their money out and they put it in the bank and they said savings. And then you got these dumb motherfucking YouTubers that saying, hey, keep cash, keep cash. Don't you know that the banks make money off your money? You're not even beating the rate of inflation. You trying to time the market instead of making informed decisions. And so you don't understand how banks make money. You don't understand that they make money on top of money on top of money by marketing to you. And then they making money off the servicing. Because listen, what banks are doing right now, they're removing the risk. They don't even have to hold the mortgages anymore. They're saying, listen, we're going to create these platforms and these applications, which is why information technology is so necessary. Are we going to get this work today? You're going to get this work today. They said we're going to create these platforms and these applications, which is why it's important for you to go in cybersecurity, go into STEM, go into software engineering, become project managers, scrum masters, product owners, back-end, front-end developers. Take in these positions and then learn as much as you can about the business so that you can then leapfrog and use the money that you make from those positions to make informed decisions on what you're going to invest in. And then banks, they remove the risk. They said, why would we want to carry the mortgages after what happened in 2008? All we got to do is create the platforms and create the applications for people to be able to service their loans, because these smaller companies can't do it by themselves. They don't know how to process payments. They don't want to make the capital investments on UX research. They don't want to create the platforms. And so now what they're doing is, let me show you. When you log into your account to pay your mortgage tomorrow, when you log into your bank account, look at the similarities between that one and the one next to it. What is happening is they're reskinning a product that they've already built and then charging the owner of that company the servicing fee and then removing the risk that comes along with holding a mortgage. Why do you think that Rocket Mortgage did so well during the pandemic when every other bank was floundering? Y'all don't want to know. Y'all don't want to know. because you think I'm just up here talking about some basic shit. I'm talking about real life, understanding how money works, transactions, systems. You're not going to sit up here and tell me anything about running in the Victim Olympics and how the system is set up against you when you don't even understand the fucking system that's being implemented in the first place. Your ignorance, your lack of knowledge, you not being intentional when aligning yourself with a group of people that have these conversations. Instead, you only want to talk about bullshit all day in video games, not knowing that it's costing you money because you don't know what you don't know. And so when I come through and then I try to give you the insight and the information on how you can do things differently by educating you about what is going on through my own life experiences so that you don't have to suffer through it and live it, you reject me because you don't like what I fucking got on instead of paying attention to the message that I'm giving you because it's going to change your life. It's going to change your children's life. It's going to force you to start thinking about your investments differently. It's going to force you out of this gambling mentality. It's going to start giving you some insight and information on how you don't need to be bamboozled by these dumbass programs just because they gave you a marketing pitch because you think that a 30-year mortgage with no PMI and no credit is going to get you over the hump as far as generational wealth. Dumb as fuck. Dumb as fuck. Yeah, I said it. I'm telling you what your daddy should have told you. I'm telling you what your daddy should have told you. I'm giving you real life game. Ain't no marketing course that can teach you this. They can't teach you what I know in real life. Boyce Watkins can't have this motherfucking conversation with you because he ain't never built nothing. He's academia. He don't know nothing about no apps. He don't know how the back end work. He don't understand how it's not even enough jobs to be able to give you motherfuckers because now we got people from overseas coming in and taking your jobs because you didn't want to take the courses in order to get the degree that you were supposed to get. He don't know shit about that. They teaching you what's in books. They can't teach you real life application. They can't teach you this shit because they don't know. Everybody was smart during when the market was on the bull run. Everybody know you couldn't fucking lose. You could have threw a pebble in the stock market, hit any stock and been successful. Everybody is an expert. What the fuck happens when everything starts to go bad? Tell them to show you their portfolio. Tell them to show you their capital investments. I want to see at least $1 million a year being poured into something that's continuing to appreciate or you making a long-term investment before they ever can tell you anything. Listen, I don't even care if they failed. Show me something that you built on your own with your own two hands. I ain't got no team behind me. I fund my own shit. I build my own content creation spaces. I build my own businesses. I pour my own motherfucking money into my own shit. You know why? Because I got a vested interest in seeing it be successful. But you trying to align yourself with a talking point. Fuck these motherfuckers. Fuck these old people. They don't know shit. They selling you a dream. They leading you down into an alcohol river and it's going to burn. And your children are going to suffer for it because they're going to be in the same position that they was last year, begging Biden for a student loan forgiveness right after they take out these student loans and go get their brains fucked out at Howard University, your local HBCU, which is then asking Trump for more handouts in order to be funded. Think about that shit. Why are HBCUs, if they have more black professionals that have graduated over decades and decades, are so underfunded with their alumni? Why? Harvard, every single Ivy League school, the University of Michigan, they all have endowments. They all have investment strategies that they're implementing and they're not entirely depending on the federal government in order to fund their students. Why? It's a mentality. It's a mindset. It's a mindset shift that you then start to have when you surround yourself with the right group of people with the right content. Make an informed decision. Make an informed decision. Who you gonna rock with? You gonna rock with them based off of the color of their skin or the level of information that they can give you in order to make sure that your family is fucking straight forever? My daughter will never need or want for anything. And it's not because I'm just gonna give her everything. It's because she's already learned the same stuff that I'm teaching you right now. At 14 years old, my daughter already understands this. The question is, what you gonna do? Now what? Because the only thing I hear in these black communities and in these black groups is a bunch of fucking complaining about what they ain't got and how much the system is against them. You want to debate me? You don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke. I don't give a fuck if you ADOS, HOTEP. You don't want this smoke because you don't even know what you don't know. You don't even know who you up against. You don't even know who you up against. Want me to tell you who your real enemy is? I will be honest with you. I'm going to be absolutely positively honest with you. Your enemy, if you turn on your phone and you hit the camera app and then you turn it around to where it's facing you, that's who your enemy is. Ain't nobody holding you back but you. Nobody is holding you back but you. I'm going to drop the link in the chat just so y'all can be able to cam up. And then I'm going to go through some of these super chats just to make sure. Just to make sure. We not running in no victim Olympics, y'all. I don't need no handout. I don't need a handout. I'm not interested in a handout. I'm not interested in your 2,000% loans. And then you're going to sell. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. Let me drop the link in the chat. I'm sorry. I'm not interested in your loans. I don't need your ninja loans. I'm straight. But Anton, we trying to help the community. You trying to help yourself. You can't help me. You can't help me. Only I can help me. And the first thing I got to do is make sure that I align myself with a group of people that's going in the direction that I'm going in. Bag Chasers University is there. It's there. I'm about to drop the link in the chat just in case y'all got a question for me. Some of y'all may be still thinking this is a good idea. Ask me. I got it pinned to the top of the chat. I just dropped the link to pin to the top of the chat. You're more than welcome to cam up. Let me read some of these super chats really quickly. Thank y'all for contributing to the platform. Oh, and let me also get to the cash apps too, because I know some of y'all dropped some cash apps. I don't want to forget y'all. So first and foremost, shout out to Darlene. I appreciate you, Darlene. Thank you for the cash app. And I also want to shout out. Let me make sure I ain't sent up. Peter Investor. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for contributing to the platform. Razik said, "You just need a, you just need a ninja." Brock says, "Love how you teach in the congregation today, Pastor. Thank you. I'm forever grateful to be connected to you, my guy. Thank you also, my friend. I appreciate you also. I'm gonna start getting y'all up here just in case y'all got questions for me." Real says, "Join a service that earns 0% down." Military. Shout out to my military members. Brandon says, "I think we need a Bag Chaser Hall of Fame in December. Anton transforming everyday pookies to millionaires." Facts. Who you know that's pouring into their community like me? You don't know nobody. You don't know nobody. This is so much I never knew. Thanks, AD. You welcome. I'm gonna blow the top off of this thing. Eventually, I believe that they're going to get mad at the powers that be is going to get mad enough and they're going to say Anton is exposing too many. They're not taking our payday loans or this fucking victim Olympic program over here. And they're not begging enough for us to be able to forgive their student loans. So we're going to have to do something to Anton. I honestly believe that at some point. Folk clearly ain't watched the Dirty Money on Netflix. Bank of America is one of the biggest finesse kings around. Facts. Kenyon Clayton says, "Anton spitting the day I'll be joining the Bag Chasers as soon as I get off." Listen, the best day to join the Patreon is the first day of the month. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Chris, my dog, says giving people 8% mortgages on $225,000 houses in Warren, Michigan. 8%. Did you know, listen, one of the reasons why I tell y'all to get 15-year mortgages instead of 30 is because the 15-year mortgage rate is always less, the percent that you take out if you have to take something out, than the 30. Y'all don't look at percentages, do you? You don't care nothing about percentages. That's all right. Keep on doing it the way y'all doing it. Shout out to Persevere Data. Says, shaking my head, more drug labs in Detroit coming soon. They just, one exploded the other day. I caught that. I called it, Persevere. Thanks, my friend. Logical Face said, didn't the housing crisis happen because they lowered the standards for minorities? Yes. And anybody can get it. Strippers was getting loans, all of that. No, it's the same thing over and over. And if y'all not paying attention to what's happening in our society, then you're bound to repeat the same mistake. Stephen Atkins says, and I'm about to start bringing y'all up as soon as I get through these super chats. Says, oh, thank you for the sticker, Stephen. I appreciate you. Let me get to, listen, some of y'all need to book me to come and speak at y'all churches so that I can get y'all some financial literacy. Some of y'all need to be tapping in with me and saying, Anton, can you do a Zoom call with my organization? Can you, honestly, right off the top of my head, and I'm going to get these super chats popping. Some of y'all need to get your whole family together for Thanksgiving and book me to come and kick it with them. To come and teach y'all something, to speak to your boys, to help them to understand and show them what a real man look like. Don't worry, me and Rita will be there. Some of y'all need to book me a flight to come and speak to your family, to come and Sunday service need to be Anton is up there cussing at the members in the congregation, helping them to understand how they need to get themselves together from a financial perspective. You need to be emailing me, AntonDaniels413@gmail.com, so I can come and fix your family. Your whole family need to get their money up. Tell your church, instead of bringing in the next singing lady, to come and book Anton from AntonDaniels.com to come and teach y'all some financial literacy. So they ain't just asking for tithes and offerings, and they're actually giving you some value in your church. That's what they need to do. Straight up. Tell your pastor Anton is offering his service. We need him. I know he be cussing and stuff, but I'm going to ask him not to. As Pastor Julian says, bro, you preaching the truth and they ain't even know it. Razik said, Anton, my G, ever notice the people who complain about the games are always the one that complain about the rules? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Farmer D, I'm assuming you're going to say something good today. Sounds like an NACA or NACA mortgage. If so, the classes up until closing will be beneficial, but this sounds like my doctor mortgage, but with better perks. You are right. You are absolutely right. I think that's the first super chat I might have agreed with you, Farmer. You coming around? I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to you. Showing my guy Vern first round on me. The Pistons open tonight. I seen Vern at the game one time. Vern was like, "Time, you all the way down there?" High fiving the players. Bruiser, my guy says this is knowledge worth paying for. Shout out to my guy Bruiser. Alex Tyson says the Clinton administration did something similar to this in the 90s, and the majority of the loans ended up defaulting in 08. That's the thing that they won't also tell you. A lot of this stuff started happening way before 08. We only seen the residual effects of it. We didn't truly understand what was happening way in the early 90s and in the early 2000s until it already hit us in the face. They keep telling you to refinance, pull some money out of your house. No, you don't. Don't you ever do that. The only time you refinance is if you can get a better rate, but do not pull the equity out of your house. Don't ever do that. Mr. Groves says certain neighborhoods, the neighborhoods will be gentrified and they will sell the property you couldn't afford for crazy profit. Facts. Let me start getting y'all up on the panel, just in case y'all got some questions. I'm coming to you, Jay. Coming to you first. And then BP, I'm coming to you next. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on, Anton? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you great.
I want to discuss the IT stuff. We've had this discussion already before. I've been here twice already. This is my third time here. I appreciate what you do. For the people listening, again, who are interested in getting into tech, Microsoft Azure. You go to MicrosoftAzure.com.
Wait. We got to break it down for them. So Microsoft Azure is the cloud infrastructure. It's similar to Amazon Web Services, but it's based off of Microsoft's platform. So go ahead.
Correct. So you have Microsoft Azure, you have AWS, and you have Google Cloud Provider.
Yep.
Either or, those three are good, but the big one right now is AWS. The second one is Azure, which is just as good. But what people aren't telling the people who are interested in that, most of these companies offer free FREEE classes.
They do.
So you can learn. Right, so you can learn the basics. If you don't know anything about IT, you go to Amazon, you go to Microsoft. They offer free classes and free labs associated with those classes for $0.99. So
I'll do you one better. In addition to that, There are certain companies, including some big banks, and I'm actually going to talk about this inside of the Patreon this month. And some of my Patreon members have already taken advantage of it. They become software engineers as a result of these big banks, and these big companies are paying for them to go to boot camps and classes, and then paying for their training once they get on a job to help them understand what sprint processes are. You know what I'm saying? What ceremonies are, stand-ups.
Correct.
They're taking them through the process, and they're actually paying them up to and over $100,000 a year just to get into the industry. And so for people that
Correct.
sit there and
Correct.
tell me that there is no opportunity available, no, you just not in the group, so you don't hear about it. But go ahead.
And thank you for that. And the other thing I want to say is, when you finish these classes, the very basic level classes, Microsoft Azure has what's called the AZ 900, which is the basic entry level course. You pass the test, you get certified in that. What you can do now is go to these companies and say, hey, get me into an entry level position, get me into a junior level position where you can learn. You're not going to be making $200,000 right off the bat, but I
Right. Well, a
promise you.
lot of these jobs are entry level. And so when they get you in
Correct.
the
Correct.
door, they're not going to be paying you 250, 300. I just did a call where I just negotiated a package on behalf of my guy over at Amazon. You don't have to come back, my friend. He probably lost his connection. I just negotiated a package with my guy over at Amazon, and he making almost $500,000 a year. He making $500,000 a year, but to get in the door is the thing that you want to do first. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button, my mistake.
No, you cool.
Yeah. So what I wanted to finalize on that, a couple of weeks back, I put in support Amarillo Technologies for you guys to ask me questions. A lot of people asked me questions. I want to say I replied back to everybody who asked me a
Inside of the
question.
Discord, right?
No, it was just my
Oh,
website.
okay. Say your website. Say your website.
It's morillotechnologies.com, and
Okay.
you can email me at support@morillotechnologies.com. You guys can ask me questions there, and I reply back. I replied back to everybody who asked me a question on how to get to the cloud. I gave you guys links. I gave you guys instructions. I gave you guys somewhat roadmaps. I haven't heard from anybody. I don't know if anybody's done anything yet. I
Make sure
haven't. I
you drop
haven't
that
heard.
in the chat before you leave today, too.
Will do, will do. But before I leave, because I don't want to take up too much time, what Anton is saying is absolutely right. A report came out: 1.8 million tech jobs in the United States are going vacant. 1.8 million good-paying tech jobs are going vacant. If we don't step up, if we don't study, if we don't do what we're supposed to do to take a hold of these jobs, you know what's going to happen? These jobs are going to go overseas.
They
These jobs are going to
already
go
are.
even more than what they are now, and now we're going to be left with nothing. So keep that in mind, guys. As quickly as you can, do not be intimidated if you do not know right away the terminology, the technology. Just take the basic courses, study, do the labs, and I promise you, that you will understand it and you will grow as a result. That's
Thank you,
all I
my
want to
friend.
say
I
about that.
appreciate you.
AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Provider. Please
Yep.
check those websites out.
All right, my friend.
Anton,
Thank you,
thank you.
bro. I'm going to come to you, BP. What's going on, big dog?
Oh, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Chilling. What's the word, friend?
No, man, just calling to say thank you for everything you do, man. You know, you've been mentoring me for probably over a year now. Probably over a year.
Yeah.
And we probably miss phone, we miss sessions here and there, but for the most
But
part,
how much you tell me what you was throwing around the last time that we talked?
oh Lord, probably between 70 and 90K. But
He
but no,
said,
but it's for
Anton, I
something
want
that
to
can
throw
fall.
90K into this particular deal over there. You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's beneficial. It's real estate, and it does have the potential to bring in some very good passive income on a monthly basis.
Yeah. No, that was a really
On a
good
monthly
deal.
basis.
What
Right.
did your
And
guy say after you did you tell him you accepted?
yeah, accepted the offer. We did demolition. We going ahead, man. We going. I'm in Florida for the next week or so,
Mm-hmm.
and just watching the process. And it's not my first time watching the process, but just seeing it play out again just shows you the benefit of understanding, kind of being prepared, financially prepared for opportunities when they arise.
Yep. You talk so different. I told you that you talk different when the last time I talked to you.
No, I've always been talking like this, man. Look, before I drop
No,
that,
not like this.
Ford dropped their dividend this morning, man. I checked this morning, man. I was smiling all the way to the bank, man. So, I hope they listen to you and got that Ford, because I've been laughing to the bank. Them dividends dropped this morning.
Yeah, that's my guy, bro. That's my guy, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
Listen, man, at the end of the year, the Bag Chaser Hall of Fame need to be put up. You know what I mean? And from underperforming to most performing, man, we need to put them up there, man. We need to put them up there.
Yeah, that's my
Original Bag
guy, bro.
Chasers, you need to do the Hall of Fame up there, man. Put them one
Man, I
by
got
one,
some
man.
heat coming over the next month. It's gonna be insane.
You know, instead of do the 12 days of Kwanzaa, you need to do the 12 Bag Chasers in the Hall of Fame.
I do my investor series at sometime in November, so I don't know. I gotta figure it out.
I think you need to
Bro, I
bring some
gotta,
people up,
where
man.
people
I
give me
think you
their
need to bring
pitches
some
and then
people up.
I give them their seed money to start their businesses and stuff like that.
Oh, well, I don't know. You did that last year. I don't know. You need to probably do a recap and see how everybody turned out, man. Maybe you
They
got one or
doing
two,
well. They doing really,
you
really
know,
well.
so slow and steady win the race, man. It ain't a sprint, So let's see. But are you gonna do another series this year?
I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to figure out how I can do it, how I can do things bigger this year than I did it last year. I'm trying to figure out what that is. It was several people that got it last year. It was a few people that got it
No,
last year.
no. I remember. I attended some of the sessions, man. It was a couple people, but who knows, man? You might be having like many content creators coming out every now and then, so you might
I love
support.
it. Listen, I love it. Anybody that's doing successful that can do great, I'm not trying to slow nobody's progress. Do your thing.
Do you think? All right. Hey, well, you said it come out in November. Maybe I need to get a proposal together before November.
You already got your proposals together. You're already doing big things.
Hey, man, I'm just a small fly on the wall, man. I'm just a fly off the wall, man.
All right, my dog. I'm gonna holler at you in a little bit.
All right, man. Thank you for letting me come up.
All right, bro. Jake Coop, and then I'm gonna come to I ain't calling you that. I ain't calling you that. Well, I'll come to Jay Coop in a minute because Jay Coop is away from his camera. Let me bring my guy on here, the number one stunner.
What's up?
What's up, my guy? You got the trademark wife beater on?
Come on, we don't change. I'm at work right now getting to this bag.
All right.
I just wanted to tell people on here how you can actually get a job in tech.
Okay,
as someone
go ahead.
Who works in tech. The trick is not to be a software engineer. Mm-hmm. This is my personal opinion. The trick is actually to be a product manager or a programs operations manager.
Isn't that what you do? You a product manager, right?
I'm a product manager. The reason is because you can spin any management experience to claim that you can facilitate managing a project end to end. So you can take it all the way from ideation to marketplace. Mm-hmm. If you actually go in and you claim you want to be a software engineer, they're going to test your coding abilities.
Correct.
It's a lot harder to test someone's ability to manage a project end to end. And there's so many variables that come with that. For example, managing a project is a lot based on your personality, your management style, your ability to document and actually convey your message to stakeholders, manage them appropriately. So the bar is a lot lower, but you still get the same kind of pay as an actual software engineer, but you're the face of the product that you're actually managing. So
the one caveat to that though is a lot of the people don't know the lingo, right? So for example, they don't know anything about a sprint, right? They don't know anything about a product. They don't know how to stand. They don't know what end to end mean, right? Yeah. They don't know what ideation. They don't know what design thinking is. They don't know what ideation all the way over into actually delivery is. A lot of that lingo, comes from experience. And so what you're speaking right now, you speaking from the perspective of a person that's in it, right? And a lot of people, they don't have any clue on what it is that you're talking about. Give me some insight on that.
I'm about to put you on game. I went to the school of YouTube University.
Yep.
Right. And I watched a bunch of product managers. There's actually literally documentation from the product school, people talking about it. And my pitch was, I used to be an artist, right? Mm-hmm. And I managed myself and was able to accumulate millions of views on YouTube. That is managing a project, right? Or managing a product. The product doesn't have to be in tech. You just have to prove that you can take a product from ideation to marketplace and you have a roadmap and you can facilitate that journey. And if you do enough applications and sit in enough interviews, someone will believe in you down the road and say, you don't have it all there, but no person is perfect for a job, right? You just have to have the baseline skill, and it's for a good manager or coach to mold you into the kind of person for that particular type of company. So when I talk to people all the time, I say, get into product management. An agile course is about $1,300 if
Yeah.
you're unsure on how to write stories, how to run scrums, how to lead engineers. And once you have that in your hand, mixed in with the idea that you can already take a project from ideation to marketplace. For example, YouTubers do it all the time. They say, "Oh, I don't know how to manage." You're managing a brand and a product right now. You change your content, you change your videos based on what the marketplace is saying.
Correct.
That is exactly the same as someone who's working in tech for Instagram or a startup. They're looking at the data to make data-driven decisions.
Correct.
So, for example, you might say, "Hey, I've noticed my 8-minute videos aren't getting the same type of watch time as my 3-minute videos." That's you using data to drive your decisions on the kind of content you're going to be making. That is the job of a PM on a day-to-day basis. So for anyone watching now and they're like, "Oh, how do I get a job that pays 180K, 200K a year?" I had a job that paid me plus like a 10K bonus, which I never had to pay back on top of it, right? Simply because I was able to convey these types of messages in the interview process.
Correct.
So I say that to say, like, it's cheap to get into tech and the starting salaries are through the roof. And it's no different from any other normal job. Like, I'm at work right now. Some people are out there working hard, sweating in this heat. Not me. But
Me either.
my point is that look online. I'm championing it to everyone. Get into product management. The barrier of entry is low. All you need is an agile certification if you've never done it before, and think about your ability to manage people through a life cycle, and you can't lose.
You know, a lot of people, I'm gonna be honest with you. The barrier to entry is not very high for people to get into this type of stuff, right? I mean, the thing about it that I find with people that I've interacted with, a lot of people that say that they want to do stuff, they're just not consistent enough to actually get there, right? I think that a lot of people, I'll give you an example. There's some people that will start down the process, right? They'll go to YouTube University, right? In which there's plenty of free videos for people to be able to tap into to learn what you need to learn based off of the information that you just gave. But then they'll get distracted and then they'll go into a video where they're talking about modern women when they're supposed to be studying. And then they just don't complete it. Most people do not have the consistency, or maybe they just don't have the motivation. Maybe they're not surrounded by people that motivate them on a daily basis as far as throughout the day to get stuff done. Most people do not finish. They just don't stick with it long enough for it to actually work out for them.
That's a fact.
And so they may get discouraged. They may say, "Oh man, I got turned down at this one job interview and I didn't know the lingo or I didn't understand it. They asked me something about Jira and I ain't never seen it before." You know, they may say some crazy stuff like that, right? But everything that you go through, you take that information or you take the questions that you feel like you missed on, and then you go back to YouTube University, because all these boot camps is over glorified YouTube universities.
That's a fact.
That's really all they are. So I don't know. That's phenomenal information, man. I appreciate you for coming up, big dog. You are awesome, man.
I really appreciate it. I know we've had some spats in the past, but on this,
man, I don't care nothing about that.
I'm saying on this, get to the bag. People are missing out. They're struggling at these Walmart jobs when they have the skill set and the ability to do jobs that will actually pay you 160K and allow you to work from your home. You don't have to change your lifestyle. You log into a computer, and as long as you deliver, they will sing your praises. Black, white, Asian, they do not care.
They don't care anything about what you look like. They don't care, bro. Yeah, man, that is absolutely valuable information. Thank you, my friend, for rocking out with me.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for the information and adding value to the people that's in the chat, big dog.
Okay.
Thank you, bro. I'm going to go with Jacoop, and then we're going to rock out from there. What's going on, my friend?
How you doing? It's perfect timing because I'm going to definitely piggyback off the brother before, but just in a different way. A lot of people, as you know, I'm a engineer at Apple. And what I tell people who aren't good with engineering, math, and science, like, look into knowledge management and program management. And again, being able to leverage your experience from managing, and then to be able to articulate and speak the language. There are boot camps and courses, and like he said, YouTube University. And once you understand, you can bridge the gap between your articulation and your experience to market and present yourself. And, you know, it's the easiest way to get 6 figures in tech. And then once you get a foot in the door, you know, the mind is the limit. And so just trying to help people, especially as the world is changing and you need to be, you know, agile and get your money up, but I want to just give you your flowers and say that your morning show has been like morning medicine. And
Thank you, my friend. Well,
yeah,
listen, I appreciate you too. And you know what's the funniest thing about it? I think that it's so phenomenal to have other brothers like you and IX and different people that's in cloud infrastructure. And I know some guys that's in cybersecurity, and I know a lot of different people in different industries that's doing great things. I don't think that people think that it's real because often at times they can't put a face, to the profession. And they think that, oh man, no, you're limited because you're black, or you're limited because whatever, or whatever, so on and
yeah,
so forth. And the reality is that you're not. Sky is literally the limit. You can do anything you want to do, and the barrier to entry isn't even that high. And so now that you are coming up here, right, and you having
yeah,
these conversations, it helps me to convey the message over into people to help them to understand that, yo, you don't have to run in the Victim Olympics. You can do whatever you want to do.
absolutely. Absolutely. So
Thank you, my friend.
definitely
I
no
appreciate you.
worries. All right, sir.
Thank you, man.
Peace.
Now, you got all of these good brothers up here. You got all of these good brothers up here, and they not sitting here telling you that I'm wrong. Listen, we go back and forth. We be talking about women. We talk about relationships. We talk about all different types of things. But when it comes to running in the Victim Olympics, it's brothers that's out here winning. It ain't just me. It's a lot of dudes out here getting to this bag. It's a lot of people that are being uber successful when it comes to what it is that we doing on a daily basis. It's women, men, all kind of stuff. And they not out here struggling. They doing what they want to do when they want to do it. And you know what often happens? You know what often happens is that just because they not loud and they not talking about, oh man, so on and so forth, or they not complaining, you don't think that they exist. I'm telling you that you literally just seen 3 people back to back to back. 3 people back to back to back that is killing it. This ain't no game. We running the numbers up. You think that the average got to be $40,000 a year? Yeah, that's your average around the guys that you hang with. The guys that I hang with, they killing the game. They absolutely murdering everything. We don't think about the dinner receipt when we go to dinner. We just do what we want to do. We don't think about the flight price when we want to fly. We pick the flight based off of the time that's convenient for us. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, y'all better get on top of y'all game because we not going backwards. We not going back up just because you don't like the way that we speak or how arrogant we are. We earned this shit. And we're going to continue to run it up. Thank you for First Designer for holding me down. Also, shout out to Celeste Jones. Said, stop yelling. The important people was listening. All right, I'm not going to yell. I'll just be passionate, Celeste. I'll be passionate, all right? So listen, again, we're going to continue to run this checkup. Again, the first day of the month is the best day to join a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Shout out to my dog, J. Coop Mosley, for the 100 ball. Says, my sign-on bonus was $50,000. 100 from RSU, Amazon starting out in 2012. His sign-on bonus is 50 bands. You know what the biggest problem that we have, Jacob? It's 2 problems that you and I usually have. A, we trying to figure out how we can reduce the amount that we paying in taxes off of those bonuses. And then B, we trying to figure out how many more that we can get. Bonuses, equity. Y'all don't even know what an ESPP is, do y'all? Employee stock purchases. Y'all never had employee stock purchases. They don't offer that. Shout out to all of my people, man. We're going to run this checkup. We're going to continue to get to this bag. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you for everybody that continue to tune in to me. Lapeef Let's Talk is tonight. Make sure that you do not fumble the bag. It's a Friday Eve, so that means that we're doing some great things. We one more day away from the weekend where we can have a phenomenal time. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm going to continue to pour into you on a daily basis. I need you to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, though. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. There is no better morning show than the one that we got here. There is no better group of people that we continue to pour into. I love you. I appreciate you. I rock with you. You guys are absolutely, positively the best group of people that I've ever ran into in my entire life. Shout out to the Bag Chasers. If you need to get in touch with me, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com and we're going to get you set up. I love you. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later.